हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, धन्यवाद प्रणाम।
दंड प्रणाम माता। जय श्री कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, धन्यवाद प्रणाम। जय श्री प्रभुपाद एंड गुरुदेव।
दंड प्रणाम माता। जय श्री प्रभुपाद गुरु। ओम अज्ञातमिनान्तस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यईश्वरम्। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So we are reading from third canto, starting the new chapter. This is chapter number 12. The name of the chapter is Creation of Kumaras and Others. The last chapter dealt with the time, how the time is calculated based on how much time the sun takes to cross over the smallest atom, Anuttamam. And then based on that, how the time keeps on increasing, how every planet has its own time, and the life in every planet is 100 years, but the time is very relative. And then also we discussed about time with respect to Brahma, with respect to what is Kalpa, which is a day of Brahma, Parardh, which is half life of Brahma, Dviparad is like the entire life of Brahma, and things about things related to time. We also discussed the time of the Kumaras, time of the higher four planets, Swargalok and others, um, and how time is so variable. We also discussed about and the time cycle of the yugas, Kali Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Satya Yuga, and their relation with the Swarglok time. So lot of things are condensed with respect to time in one chapter. And now Maitreya Muni starts again. This is the description between Maitreya and Vidura. Maitreya Muni starts and he described, my dear Vidura, now I have described you about time. Again, this conversation is happening on the bank of Mother Ganga, Haridwar, and both the great personalities they are discussing. And Maitreya Muni said to Vidura, now I will describe to you about the creation by Brahma. So far we discussed in the past, Brahma was in, like it's been going on since second canto. So far that Brahma uh, appeared, he was bewildered, he performed tapa, he heard the word tapa after much endeavor and no results, so he performed tapa, 100 celestial years. And then he saw Narayan in his vision. Then he heard Chatushloki Bhagavatam. And in this way, things were moving. And then there was a little bit of gap, um, a little bit of gap describing Uddhava's travel, um, and Vidura meeting Uddhava and Vidura meeting Maitreya. And then now again coming back to the description. Okay, so Maitreya Muni said about Brahma's continuation of Okay, now Brahma is realized he heard Chatushloki Bhagavata. Um, he Brahma prays for the creative potency and he is empowered for the creative potency. And from there, then this is like the second last chapter of second canto. And then Vidura developed eagerness about Uddhav. Um, um, not Vidura, Sonak Rishi and others. They became eager to hear about Uddhav. And then Maitreya Muni took a detour and he described about Uddhava's travel and Vidura and meeting of Uddhava and Vidura coming to Maitreya, and then there's a description. And from where the conversation was going on directly between Sutta Goswami and Sonak Rishi, now it's a continuation from there, 12 chapter, so much, 13 chapters of delay basically. And again, through the conversation of Maitreya and Vidura, the discussion continues from second canto. So Maitreya Muni says, now hear about Brahma's creation. So the first thing that Brahma created was ignorance. Now this is the creation, beginning of creation. No living being exists. Brahma is alone. Brahma is empowered to create whatever he likes. And the first thing he created was ignorance. And Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that unless the living entity forgets his real identity as the eternal servant of Krishna, it is impossible for him to live in material condition of life. So first Brahma created ignorance as a matter of necessity. So Brahma was thinking they are all realized part and parcel of Krishna. When they're all so happy in Goloka Vrindavan, in the spiritual Vaikuntha planets, eternally in the service of the Lord, why would they like to reside in this material creation which is full of suffering? So first, thinking in this way, Brahma thought, yeah, nobody will come to this place. So first Brahma created ignorance. And it is described, Brahma created, there are 5 features of ignorance. It's called Ajnana Vritti, 5 Vritti of Ajnana. And the name is Tamaha, Moham, Mahamoham, Tamishram, and Andhatamishram. So Tamaha means ignorance of one's Swarup. So that's how in various levels the ignorance covers a living entity. These 5 are um, expansions of the same one, ignorance. that Brahma created. Every living entity is covered by these 5 kind of ignorance. So tamaha. So tama means ignorance of Swarup. First we forget who we really are. What, okay, I have a relationship with Krishna. What is my relationship with Krishna? All this knowledge the soul has. So that is forgiven. That is forgotten. Then second ignorance is moha. Moha means illusion. And because of moha, illusion, the living entity starts thinking, I am this body. And we are all covered by ignorance or moha. That's why there is like, Kam, Krodha, Lobh, Moho, Mad, Matsar. So there moha means everyone starts identifying oneself with this body and um, wants to enjoy through various desires. Those desires are arising from bodily conception of life. There's a thick layer of bodily identification, which is called moha. And then there is a mahamoha. Mahamoha means he identifies himself with the body and then he falsely thinks that he is the proprietor of the enjoyable objects. So he thinks this car is mine, or this home is dhanam janam sundarim. This dhanam, this followers, this beautiful people, they are mine, and they are for me to enjoy. So this is called mahamoha, or great illusion. So first illusion is tamaha, where one forgets one relationship with Krishna. Second is he thinks himself to be the body. And greater illusion is he thinks that certain enjoyable objects, he's a proprietor. He possesses them. Today I was hearing my spiritual master and Maharaj was mentioning how everyone is trying to become Ishvara. Everyone is, Maharaj says, we also try to control our environment. We try to control our environment in such a way that suffering doesn't touch me and pleasurable experiences come. And the moment suffering comes and object of pleasure goes away, then we want to control the environment. And how this control the environment, because we don't surrender, but we try to control the environment because that is like Ishvara Bhav. So there is moham, there is mahamoham, and then there is tamishram. Tamishram means now I am the possessor of these enjoyable objects. And when I'm not able to enjoy these objects, then anger arises because of frustration. I am frustrated. I want it. And I'm not getting it, so I'll become angry. This is called tamishram. And then andha tamishram, that is the last stage, is one become unconscious because of anger. It's kind of a sense of death, Prabhupada says. That like andha tamishram. So there is tamha moham, is I am this body. Mahamoham, everything that has a relationship with this body is for me to enjoy and I possess it. And tamishram, if I'm not able to enjoy, then I'll become angry. And andha tamishram, and the anger will go to such an extent that I'll become unconscious, brought about by such an intense anger. So first thing Brahma created is with these living entities. So anything that is born will be born with these features. Then after creating these five kind of avidya vritti, agyana vritti, Brahmaji felt very disgusted with his creation. He said, "Thuh, what have I created?" So Brahmaji was greatly displeased, and then um, he again purified his mind. His mind was like, because he just saw the Lord and he heard Chatushloki Bhagavatam and he became self-realized. And now he started creation. And the first thing is these 5 things he created, and that contaminated his own mind also. So all these illusion covered him. So he's like, he became disgusted. So he focused his mind onto the Lord, the name of the Lord, the form of the Lord. And by focusing on the Lord, again, his illusion was gone. His illusion was gone. That also shows that we are also born in ignorance or touched by these five ajnana vidhis. And then when we remember the Lord, then Krishna Surya Sama Maya Hoy Andhaka, then Maya goes away. But then take some time before Maya leaves us. But for Brahmaji, he was fully self-realized. So he purified his mind by meditating on the Lord, and he became purified again. I was today in a lecture. It was mentioned Om Pavitra Pavitra Va Sarva Vastam Gatopi Va Yasmaret Pundari Kaksham Sabhaya Abhayantara Suchihi Om Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. So this means whether we are pure or Om Pavitro Apavitro Va, whether we are pure or whether we are in a contaminated state of mind or a conditioned state of life. Sarvavastham gato piva, or whatever situation we may be in, Sarvavastham gato piva. Yet smaret Pundari Kaksham. If we remember the lotus-eyed ones, if we remember the lotus-eyed one, which is by simply by remembering Sri Krishna, yet smaret Pundari Kaksham, Sabhaya Abhayantara Suchihi. And internally and externally, we become cleansed. That is the potency of no matter what condition state we are in. Simply the remembrance of Krishna can cleanse us internally and externally. So Brahma remembered Krishna. He was disgusted, displeased. He remembered Krishna and then his mind again became purified. So then he again started the creation process. So first thing he created is he wanted, because he created ignorance now. So he wanted to create somebody he wanted, and Brahmaji has such power. His body has such power. It is said his body was representative of the Supreme Lord. Means whatever he desired could be created. So first Brahma wanted somebody who will not be touched by these five kinds of ignorances. So as he's thinking and he just desired, I want somebody who is like beyond all this. And then the first sons that were created were the four Kumaras, because that was Brahmaji's desire, pure, who are not touched by these. So they were free from fruitive activities. It is said that Urdhava Retasaha, their semen flowed upwards, completely self-realized, completely detached from this world. Um, and it is said that the four aspects of knowledge, which is yoga, vairagya, tapa, and sankhya, they appeared in the form of Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumar, respectively. Mhm, mhm, mhm. So these four Kumaras were self-realized. Then Brahmaji naturally he wanted to populate the universe. He requested the Kumaras to create progeny, but they were not covered and not interested in those activities. They refused as they were devoted to Lord Vasudeva. Vasudeva Parayana, and they aimed only for liberation. So they didn't want to engage in these activities, so they refused. Thus, Kumaras were disobedient to Brahma. And it is also said we should do whatever our spiritual master says, but this is one instruction we can say no to our father or mother or our spiritual master. Anybody, we have a choice to say no on this decision. Usually, son should do whatever father says, but this one thing they can reject the father, and there will be no reaction. So these four Kumaras, they told his father Brahma that no, we don't want to engage in these activities. So Brahma became angry, and Brahma is like thinking, no, 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 I should not become angry. So he tried to control his anger. But despite Brahmaji's great effort to control his anger, um, um, a child was born. Uh, the anger of Brahma came out from between his eyebrows as a child, and his complexion was blue and red complexion. And blue complexion represents ignorance, and red compassion represents passion. So the child was born, was influenced by passion and ignorance. And the child, when he came out, the child started crying. And the child told, "Oh Dhata, Dhata means destiny maker. O Dhata, O Jagat Guru, the child told Brahmaji as Jagat Guru, teacher of the universe. Please designate my name and place. That he came out and he said, "You are Jagat Guru, you are the supreme controller, you are the destiny maker. Who am I? And where should I live?" So Brahma said, "O best of the Devatas, Sura Shrestha." Shrestha means like topmost. So Sura Shrestha, best among the demigods, best among the Devatas. Um, and he says, because you cried anxiously upon your birth, your name will be Rudra. And I select 11 places for you. You will select. And these are the residents of the Rudra principle. Rudra principle is anger. So 11 places Brahmaji gave Rudra to stay. And these 11 places are the places where the anger resides. So one is the heart. And because of the Rudra resides in the heart. And that's why when somebody becomes angry, there is an excessive pain, acute pain in the heart. Then the anger resides in the senses and it is manifested. Anger resides in senses. That's why when one becomes angry, then the senses reflected. So in this way, we see that the senses also emanate the anger because the Rudra principle resides in the senses. And these residences were given by Brahma to Rudra, that you reside here, here. Then you live in air life air. Brahmaji said to Rudra. And because the anger principle resides in life air, when a person becomes angry, he breathes very rapidly. And that's because Rudra is residing there. Then Brahmaji said, you can reside on the sky, in the sky. Um, and because anger is there in the sky, it represents in dense roaring of the clouds. These clouds, they roar, na, clouds. So that represents anger also. Then in the air, also Rudra resides, and because of anger in the air, the wind blows fiercely. Then there is Rudra in the water, basically earth, water, fire, air, ether, all the places, and they all exhibit anger. And anger in the water um, comes in the form of flood or sea water infuriated by wind. The wind can transfer the anger to the sea and the sea becomes agitated. So these are all Rudra principles in the water, in the wind, in the sky, in the life air, in the senses, in the heart, then on the earth. And anger in the earth transforms into weapons. Um, and that anger also give rise to creatures like snake and tigers. They are very angry animals. And that comes from the Rudra principle that is residing on the earth. Then sun also has a Rudra principle. Sun, moon, and tapa, these three have. So sun, because of Rudra principle, gives sometimes extreme heat that leads to heat stroke up to even death. So much heat the sun will produce if sun becomes angry. And the moon, when becomes very angry, results in extreme cold. That can also lead to death because of collapse, because of the cold. And austerity, which is without bhakti, just tapa, dry tapa, like some yogis and some renunciates, some philosophers when they perform. So they also develop angry mood from those. Like very good example of is Durvasa Muni, Durvasa Rishi. He was a yogi, a renunciate, but without bhakti. So very, very slightly he would become angry. So again, the sun came out, the sun was crying, and he said, "You are the Dhata and you are Jagat Guru. Please tell me my name and where should I reside?" So Brahmaji said, "Your name will be Rudra because we came out anxiously." And Rudra color was blue and red, which represents ignorance and passion respectively. And then Brahmaji said, you can reside in 11 places: in the heart, in the senses, in the life air of all living entities, in the five Panchabhutas, earth, water, fire, air, ether, in sun and moon, and in Tapa. So these are the 11 places Rudra can live. And you will be known by 11 names, the Rudra. Um, your 11 names will be Manu, Mahinasha, Mahan, Shiva, Ritadhwaja, Ugrareta, Bhava, Kal, Vamadev, and Ritavrata. So these are you will be known by these 11 names. They are called Ekadashi Rudras or 11 Rudras. And you get married to the 11 Rudranis, and they were created. And their names was Dhi, Dhriti, Rasala, Uma, and um, they correspond to the wife of those individual Rudra. So if you see the fourth, Shiva get married to Uma or Parvati. So Uma, then Niyut, Sarpi, Ila, Ambika, Iravati, Swadha, and Diksha. So these were the 11 Rudranis. So then Brahmaji says, now you have all you Rudras, you are 11, you reside at 11 locations, and you have all these Rudranis with you. Now you all together create progeny on a large scale. So Rudras, all the Rudras and Rudranis, they left and they started creating a lot of progeny similar to themselves, alike progeny, similar strength, similar form, and similar anger, furious nature. Um, and there were so many Rudras created from Rudra and Rudranis. They all look like ghastly red and blue, and they all were very angry personalities. And they started destroying the universe. And Brahma himself became fearful when he saw the activities of these uh, progeny of Rudras. Then Brahmaji told these 11 Rudras, who were his sons, he said, "Bhai, stop it. There is no need to create such devastating living entities like yourself. And you guys are even attacking me." So seems like they started destroying the universe and they wanted to destroy Brahma also. So Brahmaji said to Rudra, "Bhai, stop it. You all are so angry, and it's very hard we don't want this kind of progeny. First, you all should become pacified. So first, you all should go and perform austerities, tapa. Become Your life should become auspicious, bestow happiness to all the living entities. Recreate the universe that you have already destroyed, recreate them again, and realize the Lord." So these are the four instructions that Brahmaji gave to the 11 Rudras, Rudranis, and all their family children. He told them, you perform austerity, remember the Lord, help the living entities, or become bestow happiness to all living entities. And whatever you all have destroyed with your progeny, you recreate the universe as it was before. So Rudras, all of them with Rudranis, they were very submissive. So they started recreating the universe. Then they went to the forest and they start performing austerities. And it is also mentioned that their um, uh, time comes during the time of universal devastation. That's when all the Rudras destroy the whole universe. So then this case is over. So first Brahmaji created first he created the five kind of ignorance. Tamam, Moham, Mahamoham, Tamishra, and Andatamishra, um, which is mm, um, ignorance of one's Swarup, one's relationship with Krishna, identification with the body, um, then considering oneself to be the enjoyer of all of one's possession, then frustration because of anger, and then intense anger that may lead even to unconscious or deathly state. After that, Brahma was disgusted with what he has created. So he remembered the Lord and his mind became purified. And then he again started focusing on the process of creation. And he wanted to create somebody who will not be part of these 5 kind of ignorances, Agyana Vritti. So he created 4 Kumaras because of Brahma's intense desire to populate. He actually begged for creative potency from Lord Narayan, but then they rejected. They don't want to engage in these activities, and they want to um, strive only for liberation. So Brahmaji's desire, um, abo- because of being unfulfilled, Brahmaji became angry. And from his anger, Brahmaji used his intelligence to try to control the anger. But the anger manifested in a form of a child that came out from between his eyebrows, who was blue and red in color, which represents ignorance and passion. The child said, "O Lord, O destiny maker, O Jagat Guru, the spiritual master of the whole universe, please give me the name and the place of residence." So Brahmaji said, "Your name will be Rudra. You will be 11 in numbers. Um, you will reside in," and he gave them 11 Rudranis also, and all these Rudras and Rudranis, and he assigned them 11 places. And among them, there is earth, water, fire, air, ether. There is heart, there is life air, there are senses, and then there is sun and moon, and then there is austerities, which is devoid of bhakti principle. And then Brahmaji said, "You create progeny similar to yourself." They created so many Rudras, they started destroying the universe. They wanted to destroy Brahma also. Brahma instructed them, "Stop it. You all become peaceful first by practicing austerity, remembering the Lord, realizing the Lord, become the cause of happiness for all living entities, and recreate everything that you have already destroyed." These Rudras and Rudranis and their progeny, they became very obedient. They went, reconstructed the universe, and went to perform tapa. And then now Brahma is free from this Rudra thing, and now he is like, now he again started creating. So Brahmaji, from the best part of his body, which is deliberation, from his mind, which was completely pure and self-realized. If you see Brahma, he heard just now in this Kalpa, he heard Chatushloki Bhagavatam. And even Lord Vishnu, he gave this benediction to Brahma that illusion will not touch you. And from his mind, it was completely pure, um, and fully focused on the Lord. From that, he deliberated a child whose name was Narada. It is said that was the best of all the child. And Narad Muni again fully self-realized. He won't engage in these activities also for procreation. So Brahmaji wanted some children who are saintly, but at the same time who can help him in creation. So from the breathing of Brahma, Vashishta Muni was created. From the thumb of Brahma, Daksha Prajapati was created. From the touch of Krishna, Bhrigu Muni was created. From the hand of Krishna, Kratu was created. From the ears of Krishna, Pulasya, Rishi was created. His pastime comes with Govardhan also. Vashishta Muni pastime comes with Lord Ram. Today is Dashera. Then from his mouth of Brahma, Angira, Angila Rishi came. From the eyes, Atri Muni comes. From his mind again, Marichi comes. And from the navel of Brahma, Pulaha comes. So these 10 children were created. So total there are these 10 children. Include one of them is Narad Muni. Then there is 4 Kumaras, and then there are so many Rudras. This is the current population of the universe. Then from Brahma's right portion of his chest, where the Lord Paramatma is situated, a religion or dharma was created. And from Brahma's back, a dharma or irreligion. So from his front, from where the Paramatma resides, that part of the chest, dharma comes, and from his back, adharma comes. Then um, then there are many factors um, that instigate a dharma from different body parts. So from the heart of Brahma came lust and desire. These are the things that instigate adharma. Like when we are, we all may have experience, especially in the past or whatever. Lust and desire give, when arises in the heart, give rise to adharma. Then from from between his eyebrows of Brahma, anger was created. From the lips of Brahma, greed was created. From the mouth of Brahma, the power of speaking was created. And again, these things were created. Then, from the penis of Brahma, the ocean, like water, was created. And from the anus of Brahma, um, all the abominable, low and abominable activities were created. And finally, from the shadow of Brahma, Kardama Muni came. So among the sons, including Kardama Muni, these are 11 plus 4 Kumaras plus Rudras. So they were created. Then the ignorances were created. Dharma and Adharma was created. Then anger, greed, power of speaking, ocean, lust, desire, and other abominable activities. All these instigate Adharma. Then all these were created. Then Maitreya Muni said, we have also heard that this speech that was created by Brahma, this speech came out in the form of a woman, and that was Brahma's only daughter, and her name was Vak. And Maitreya Muni said, we have also heard that Brahma became very much attracted by his daughter Vak, although she was not attracted to his father Brahma. Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport that um, Maitreya Muni is telling, we have heard, because Maitreya Muni hesitated to find fault in Brahma, like a great personality, and say this great personality performed this act which is not recommended. Maitreya Muni hesitated to speak that. So that describes, Prabhupada says, Maitreya Muni um, um, talks were offenseless by nature, and that's why he hesitated to narrate this incident. Mm. Mm. But then Prabhupada says, but still, Maitreya Muni spoke this just to show how the power of these senses, how strong these senses can be, that even a very learned man can also be bewildered by the demands of the senses. And just to show that, um, Maitreya Muni said, we have heard that Brahma had a daughter which represent the power of speech, and Brahma was attracted by that. Um, Today also we are reading Srila Prabhupada's quote, and Prabhupada said that man is like a butter and woman is like a fire. And this is from Bhagavatam, which says, when the butter comes in contact with fire, the butter will melt. Likewise, men, when he comes in contact with woman, then the man heart may become weak. Um, so Prabhupada says that one should be extremely careful while associating with the opposite sex. Um, mm, mm, okay. Then when Brahma daughter Vak, when she was born, Brahma became attracted. Brahma started chasing her, and she started running, and Brahma started running behind her and chasing her. So Brahma's son became very unhappy, who were actually rishis also, like Marich, Bhrigu, Angira. So Brahma's son spoke. They said, um, mm, the especially Marich, all the sons headed by Marichi, they spoke in a very respectful manner. This is very nice that they are the sons and they were very respectful to their father. Although the father is doing wrong, still they were respectful, but their conversation was straightforward. So these sons, they said, this kind of act does not befit your position. You are the supreme being in this universe. Everybody will follow your example. And if you act like this and start running behind your own daughter, then what kind of example does it set for all the progeny, you being the leader of the universe? This is not expected. And it has never been done before. And So in this way, Marich gave these words of caution to Brahma. But even though Marich and others, they spoke to Brahma to stop Brahma from running behind Vak, they felt that um, Brahma's mind did not change, or um, they failed to convince Brahmaji. So then they all started praying to Narayan, who was the creator of Brahma and who was a protector of Dharma, that please help us in this situation. Then as Brahma was running, and as he was running behind Vak and he was hearing the sons, and the sons are praying. So Brahma felt very much ashamed. And Brahma gave up his body. And Srila Prabhupada says Brahma gave up his body means Brahma gave up the mentality. The mentality from which the mentality from which this desire was born, this attachment was born. Brahma gave up this mentality. So it is also said, Srila Prabhupada also says, Kalpa is a day of Brahma. And every night of Brahma, everything is destroyed. And in the morning, then Brahma again prays for creative potency. And then the Lord give him darshan. The Lord blesses him, and then Brahma again starts the day. And by the night comes, everything is destroyed again. Again, Brahma gets up and becomes bewildered and feels helpless. Then worship the Lord and prays for creative potency again. And this continues. But in this particular uh, day of Brahma, Brahma actually heard Chatusloki Bhagavatam from Vishnu. And Vishnu gave him the benediction that Maya will not touch you. So Prabhupada says this particular incident of running behind Vak must be a different kalpa in which Chatushloki Bhagavatam was not spoken. Otherwise, Brahmaji would not have done that. So Brahmaji became very ashamed, and that mentality which produced that desire, uh, um, that Brahma gave up. And then it is also mentioned in the purport, the status of exalted personalities is not contaminated by apparently audacious transgression of morality. Brahma's power of creation did not diminish due to his distraction because of Vak. Brahma continued his creation service. So it is said that those who are exalted personalities, even if here and there they may transgress morality, that does not contaminate them really. And like even Lord Krishna says, Apiche Saduracharo Bhajante Mamananya Bhag. So if a great personality, even if one does something, um, or even if there is occasional lapses in one's code of morality, um, um, they should still be considered saintly. So Brahma, because of that transgression, um, he did not become contaminated. He gave up his mentality, remembered the Lord, again became purified, and his um, power of creation did not diminish. Um, and he came back to his service, um, and continued the creation. Um, and what is the next uh, creation? Then from Brahma's mouth, Brahma created Rig Veda. Then from east, Brahma has four. This is four-headed Brahma. So from his eastern mouth, Brahma created Rig Veda. From his southern mouth, he created Yajur Veda. From his western mouth, he created Sam Ved, and from his northern mouth, he created Atharva Ved. So in this way, Brahma created the four Vedas from his mouth, and from his mouth, Brahmaji will create one after another. Lot of things Brahmaji will create now. So after creating four Vedas, then again from the four mouths, one by one, Brahma created four Upavedas. Upaveda is Ayurveda. Dhanurved. Dhanurved is military science. Like Arjuna was perfect there. Karna was also very good at Dhanurved, and their guru of Dhanurved was Dronacharya. So that science was Dhanurved was created by the southern mouth of Brahma. Ayurveda was created. Then there is Gandharva Ved. Gandharva Ved describes about how to sing, the musical art. And then there is from northern mouth, the architectural science came, how the architecture should be. It's called Sthapatya Ved. I believe even Vastu Shastra and others are part of this architectural science. So these are called Upavedas or supplementary Vedas. Then from all his four mouths, Brahma next created the Puranas and Itihasas, and they are called as Panchama Ved, so or fifth Veda. So this is also some people, some less intelligent people, they say Bhagavatam, we don't believe in Bhagavatam because Bhagavat is Purana. They say like that. Like even some are like Sri Sampradaya and others, they also say we don't believe in Bhagavat Puran because it's just a Puran. Even Shankaracharya, he did not believe in Bhagavatam. He gave up miss he gave up um, he concocted his own philosophy on Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, which is like so clear. He refused to give his commentary on Bhagavatam. Um, and like sometimes Sri Sampradaya people say, we don't believe in Bhagavatam, we believe only in what the Vedas and Bhagavad Gita, but not in Bhagavatam. So because Puranas are, um, there is Shruti and there is Smriti Shastra. So Shruti Shastra are those which are spoken by the Lord. And Smriti Shastra are those which are meditated. Smriti means remembered or meditated or concluded by the saints. So they say, some less intelligent people, they say, we believe in Vedas and Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads because they are Shruti Shastra, but we don't believe in Puranas because they are Smriti. But it is described here. The Puranas and Itihasa, they're described as Panchved or the fifth Ved, or basically giving the same status like the Vedas. So first, from the mouths of Brahma, after the walk incident, Brahma purified himself again by Sabhaya Abhayantara Suchi. Yes, Mare Pundari Kaksha. He remembered the Lord, he became purified. Then from his mouth, first the four Vedas were created. Then from his, so he's like, Vedas came. Then Upavedas came. Then Panchaveda or Puranas came. Then all the Yagyas came. So in this way, Brahma is creating from his mouth again and again. And different mouth is creating different things. So from and among the sacrifices, you may have heard there is Agnishtoma sacrifice. Like Prabhupada says that those grihasthas who um, don't practice devotional service, they should perform Agnishtoma yagyas. So, anyways, and these yagyas, they are recommended in the scriptures, and they were also created from the mouth of Brahma. Then there is horse sacrifice, there is cow sacrifice. So all these yagya sacrificial acts, they came from different mouth of Brahma. Then uh, then then from the four mouth of Brahma came the four legs of Dharma. And the four legs of Dharma is Tapa, Saucham, Daya, Satyam. Austerity, truthfulness, cleanliness, and mercy. So these four were created from the four mouth of Brahma. And then from the four mouth of Brahma came the four ashramas. Brahmacharya was created from one mouth. From another mouth, Grihastha was created. From another mouth, Vanaprastha. And from another mouth, Sannyas was created. Then four types of brahmacharya was created. So one type of brahmacharya is one who practices celibacy for 3 nights. Then another kind of brahmacharya is one who practices celibacy for 1 year. Another kind of brahmacharya is one who practices celibacy until he learned the Vedas, which is basically the first 25 years is supposed to be brahmacharya, then grihastha, then vanaprastha, then sanya. So one who can practice celibacy for first 25 years until the Vedas are learned. This is called Brahmana brahmacharya. So there is Savitra brahmacharya, Prajapatya brahmacharya, Brahmana bhattacharya, and Brihad brahmacharya. So Brihad means Brihat. Brihat means celibacy until death. Brihad Vrata, Brihad Vrata. And it is said that Bhishma Dev took this Brihad Vrata. And when he took the Brihad Vrata, which is lifelong celibacy, then all the demigods were shocked. and they started shouting Bhishma, Bhishma, Bhishma. Um, so then from then onwards, his name became Bhishma Dev. That's a very tough vow of celibacy till death. So these are four types of brahmacharya that were created from mouths, and then four occupations of grihasthas came from the four mouth of Brahma. And they are one is occupations. Um, one occupation is performing the occupation which is not forbidden, like grihasthas can do agriculture, and the this is called varta. Varta means occupations which are not forbidden. Then there is sanchaya. Sanchaya means performing grihasthas performing sacrifice that was created. So these are the different karmas of grihasthas. One is performing normal karma which are not forbidden. One is grihasthas performing yagyas, and one is grihasthas who are taking alms without begging, or like anybody comes and give by themselves, then they take. Um, Taking alms without begging. That is another occupation. And then fourth occupation is taking the fallen grains in the field. They are going, and this is one kind of occupation. Like Vanaprastha, especially Grihastha Vana, when they take Vanaprastha, they go to the forest and then they eat whatever is fallen grain from the trees. And that's all they live on, and they provide. And then, so, anyways, these are four occupations of Grihasthas. Then four types of Vanaprasthas were created from the four mouths of Brahma. Those who live on wild grains, those who give up accumulating grains um, on gaining new grains, those like they may, like it is said, grastas may accumulate, but then when we take vanaprastha, a certain type of vanaprastha, when they get new grain, they give up the old grain. Um, this is called Valakhilya vanaprastha. Then there is another section of vanaprastha. Um, they live off what he acquires by walking in a direction he sees on getting up in the morning. So they are sleeping, and when they get up, whichever direction they see, they start walking in that direction. And whatever they get in that direction, that's what they eat. So that is one kind of vanaprastha. And then the last kind of vanaprastha is they walk and they don't take alms from anybody, or they don't take any fruit from the trees, but anything fallen fruit they eat, otherwise they just keep walking. It is said the main limb to be practiced during vanaprastha is tapasya. So these are four different kinds of vanaprasthas, and there are four different kinds of sannyasis. Then those were also created from the four mouths of Brahma. We have heard Kutichak Bahudak Parivrajkacharya Paramahamsa. Those who are fixed in knowledge, those who are completely realized, those who rejects karma and focuses on self-realization, and those who take like Kshetra sannyas. They live at one place and their own hermitage, and they focuses on their activity and renounce everything else. That's one kind of Kutichak sannyas. Um, so we saw then um, um, then from the mouths of Brahma came Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha, and their combination, or the lower planetary system, middle planetary system. Bhu, Bhuvaha, Swaha. Swaha is heavenly planet. Bhuvaha is earthly planet. And Bhuhu is lower planet. This comes in Gayatri mantras also, and their combination in between. So these regions were created from the four mouth of Brahma. Then the Omkar was created from the heart of Brahma. So if we recap from the after the Vak incident, then Brahmaji remembered the Lord. He became purified again. Then he again went back to creation. So far, the children that Brahma has created are the four Kumaras, the Rudras, and Rudra's progeny, then Narada Muni, and then the nine other saints, and then Kardama Rishi. So that's all were created. And amidst them, there was the episode of Vak and ocean, lust, desire, anger, greed, dharma, adharma, all these things were created. And after the walk incident, from his mouth, many things were created. First from his mouth, four Vedas, then from his mouth, Upavedas, then Puranas, then from his mouth, the different Yagyas, then from the mouth, the Dharmas, then from the mouth, the four Ashramas, then from his four mouth, the four types of Brahmacharya, four occupations of Grihastha, four types of Vanaprastha, four types of Sannyasa, and the four kind of planetary systems, Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha, and their combination. So after all these things were created, then the Om syllable were created, and then the Vedic meters were created. Vedic meters like Gayatri mantra is 24 syllable that was created. So some like there is different meter. Like if you see Hari Prabhu before he sings, every verse is written in a particular meter. Like one Bhagavad Gita is 1 meter. Dehi nosman yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara. So that is 1 meter. Then Gayatri Mantra is another meter. Then another meter is that the which we sing. Um, Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyugam Shri Jiva Gopal Kau. So based on different syllables in different meters, they're all sung in different notes. And all those things were also created by Brahma. So there is syllable means like Krishna. So Krishna is 2 syllable. Kri, Krishna. Krishna becomes Krishna. Hare, Hare, again 2 syllable. So this Maha Mantra is 16 verse and 32 syllable mantra. So likewise, um, there are different verses, um, and each line of a verse can be composed of different number of syllables, and they all are sung in different meter so that they are rhythmic. So there is 24 syllable which is called Gayatri. There is 28 syllable which is sung in Ushnik meter. There is 32 syllable like our Mahamantra is 32 syllable which is Anushtup um, meter. Then there is 36 syllable, which is Brihati meter. Then there is 40 syllable, Pankti syllable, 44 syllable, Trishtup, and 48 syllable, Jagati. So in this way, different in Bhagavad Gita also 2 meters are there actually. Um, um, and some verses of Bhagavatam, different meters, and all those were created from Brahmaji also. And then all this sound like Sare Gama Padhani, they were created. Then there is Swara, I, U, Ru, Ri, Li, I, O. So these are Swara. Um, and there is a lot. There is sha, sa, ha, aha. So these were created from senses of Brahma. Then there is semi-vowels like ya, ra, la, va. They were created from the strength of Brahma. So basically all the audible sounds, all these are called Shabda Brahma. All these were created by Brahma. Many things were created by Brahma. Okay. So we have come towards the end now. Um, it is said that Brahma is a personal, this I discussed earlier, Brahma is a personal representation of Supreme Lord. He was empowered by the Supreme Lord. And that's why Brahma did a great service actually in the beginning of the universe to provide all these things. And he was able to provide all these things because of the mercy of Supreme Lord on him. It is said Brahma's body is composed of the Vedas. Very interesting. I mean, our body is made up of Panchabhutas. Na? So Brahma's body is composed of Vedas. And Brahma is invested with unlimited potencies, multifarious potencies, because of which Brahma can create anything. Brahma can create adharma, can create desires, can create ignorance, can create lust, can create um, sages, can create Narad Muni, can create Kumaras, can create all these syllables and sannyasis and ashramas and three planetary systems, and Brahma can create anything. And he created all these things. That's how the universe started to roll. And this was the question, like after Brahma created, then how did everything came that we see? All these things are coming from somewhere. Brahma is the one, Baba. So this is Metamony description. Then um, after creating all these things, so the structure is in place. The syllables are there, the meters are there, the Vedas are there, Upanishads are there, uh, Puranas are there, and um, everything is there basically, but there are no people, not many people. So seeing that the creation by the powerful sages did not sufficiently increase the population of the universe, so when he saw that there is all these rishis, but none of the rishis are married actually. They're all single. And there are like 15, 10, 15 members. And then everything is created, but people are not there. So Brahmaji became sad. And Brahmaji started reflecting that how astonishing. I'm trying so much and I'm doing so much, but it's very unfortunate that I'm not able to populate. And then Brahmaji thought maybe this is my destiny. I just can't do it. This is my destiny. So Brahmaji took a humble position that it's not working. I'm working very hard, but don't see the results not happening. Only the structure remains, but where are the people? So he thought this is because of destiny. So as Brahma was thus deliberating in a humble position, then two forms were created, and one was a male form and one was a female form that was created from the body of Brahma. And these two forms are as good as Brahma's body. They are very powerful bodies. It is said that they were still celebrated as Brahmas, just like Brahma's body is very powerful. These two bodies, one male body and one female body, came and they were as powerful. But now, naturally, Brahma is fully pure. The mentality of attachment is gone. So he saw one male and female, and, and they were named as Swayambhuva Manu and Satarupa. Um, and they both, naturally, they asked their father. We will see it in future. They both got married, Manu and Satarupa. They both were very powerful. Expansion of Brahma's body, or they are celebrated as good as Brahma's body. Brahma's Kaya. Kaya is Brahma's body. And they asked Brahma, what do we do? And Brahma told them that you all populate. And these two, Manu and Satyarupa, they gradually increase the population of universe one by one. And how? Um, First, Swayambhuva Manu and Satyarupa, they gave birth to two sons and three daughters. And two sons were Uttanapad. We know Dhruva Maharaj. We will discuss that. And then Priyavrat Maharaj. It comes in fifth canto, Maharaj Priyavrata. These were two sons, and the three daughters of Manu were Devahuti, and Devahuti got married later to Kardama Muni. They gave birth to 9 daughters, and those 9 daughters were married to the 9 sages. 10 sages were created from Brahma earlier, but there is nobody to marry to them. Um, Except 10 were created. One was Narad Muni. He was naturally a lifelong brahmacharya. And the other 9s, but there is no wife. So later Manu created Devahuti. Devahuti to Kardama Muni gave 9 daughters. They were given in marriage to those 9 sages. And then there was a great increase in population. So ultimately Manu became the uh, primary factor, Manu and Satarupa. Then there was uh, Akuti. Akuti got married to Ruchi, and even the Supreme Lord Yagya was born to Akuti. Then there was Prasuti. Prasuti was married to Daksha, Daksha Prajapati. And Daksha, we know, gave birth to 60,000 sons, and later on so many daughters. Um, Daksha Prajapati did a lot of creation. Later on, when he came back again, lot of creation, Daksha Prajapati. gave, um, and that's how the word was filled with population. Okay, so that's the summary of this chapter. Are there any discussion? Anyone has any question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, Jai Shri
Then
Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
So, Prabhuji, I had heard this argument in a different class, but I forgot the answer. Like Manu and Shatarupa both came from Brahma's body, but they were not considered as brother and sister. So, what was like how it was considered?
Yeah, that time those things were not there, Mataji. The system that we have now, those systems are not there because ultimately everything is coming from Brahmana. These systems came later on of what is this called, uh, Gotra, coming from different saints, and people should not marry in those things came later on. Um, and we also see the example of, I think, Venu. And when Venu was killed by Brahmanas, they churned the body of Venu, and from Venu came, um, um, the Lord came from the body of Venu. Anyone remembers who came from Venu? The son of Venu, Prithu Maharaj. And then Prithu Maharaj, then a boy and a girl was born. One was Maharaj Prithu, and one was Atri.
Archie. Sorry, Prabhuji, Mother Archie.
Archie,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And then they got married. So that is there even from King Venu also. So same way here. So those principles were not applied that time. That's what I can say.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, anything else? All right. And now next week will be appearance of Lord Varaha. Okay, so we will end here. Thank you very much for joining. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Prabhuji. Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Hare
Dandat
Krishna
Pranam.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी धन्यवाद प्रणाम
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you, Amol Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu ji. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Samul Prabhu. Hare Krishna.